Good morning, everyone. Wow, a lot of hustle and bustle today. Welcome, everyone. Hey, let's sing. Let's talk about welcoming. This is called All Is Welcome Here by Mitten. Broken hearts and broken dreams, bring it all, everything. Bring the song you feel to sing, all is welcome here. Think your vows 1,000 times, come anyhow. We're stepping into the power of now, all is welcome here. La 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 la. I stood alone at the gateless gate, too drunk on love to hesitate. To the winds I cast my fate and the remnants of my fear. I took a deep breath and I leapt, tears of gratitude I wept. I woke as if I'd never slept, I was welcome here. La 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 la, la. Bring your tears, your busy lives and your careers. Bring the pain you carried for years, all is welcome here. Freedom's not so far away, there's only one price we have to pay. That's to live our dreams till they fade away and let them go. Live our dreams and let them go.
I love standing up to applause. I haven't done a thing. Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on another gorgeous Sunday here at Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living, where transformation happens. My name is Linda Brewer, and I'm so very grateful to have the privilege of welcoming all of you in this room, whose beautiful faces I can see, and all of our live stream community who's out there somewhere. We would be really grateful if you would put your name and where you are on our Facebook page so that you all can connect with each other. I know you can't hug each other the way we do here, but at least you can connect and speak to each other, and we can know later that you've been here with us. So thank you. Our practitioners serving in today's service are Selena Bra, who will be doing our reading and leading us in prayer, and our practitioner emeritus, Audrey Gum, who's holding high watch, knowing that the best and highest is unfolding as we share this sacred time together. Our center is a spiritual community that teaches a philosophy for daily living, based on spiritual principles and practices that are universal among religions. We honor every pathway by which people seek to know and connect with the divine, and we work on our individual consciousness so that we can help make the world a better place. So if you will, I invite you to say and recommit with our purpose statement. We are an open, welcoming community celebrating our divinity, loving our humanity, and nurturing our journey of spiritual discovery. Thank you. Our theme for this month is abundant supply. And Reverend Cindy's topic this morning is called Circulation Beats Circumstance. Can't wait to hear what that is. And our special music this morning is our own fabulous musician and music director, and I might add, a very magnificent human being, Ric Sharette. We have a very special event happening today after the service. It is our new member orientation, which will take place in the classroom on the first floor. This is your opportunity to learn more about the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living and the basic principles that we teach. It's also a chance to rededicate yourself to your own personal and spiritual growth while deepening your commitment to this spiritual community, which we hope will be your spiritual family for many years to come. We welcome everyone, just like that song says, all are welcome here to attend our services and all the events that we have. But members step into a higher sense of responsibility and also into the privilege of helping to make decisions about the future of our center. This class only gets offered maybe once a year, sometimes twice if we're really growing. And it is required in order to become a member of Salt Lake CSL. So following a light lunch today, Reverend Cindy will share a summary of the primary teachings of our philosophy, while leaders of some of our various teams will share the focus of their team's work so that new members can discern how it is and where it is they would like to serve here in our center. And then after the class, you have the opportunity to decide, after hearing all that, if membership is right for you. So going to the class doesn't mean you're obligated. So we encourage all of you to take advantage of that if you've never done that before and if you're not a member. Now, tomorrow at 11:30, the twice a month Monday Fountain of Youth Sound Bath will be held right here in this room. Shanti and her Shanti Sounds community are here on the second and fourth Monday with a daytime opportunity to bask in the healing vibrations of sound bath. If you've never experienced that, I invite you to come tomorrow at 11:30 and check it out. It's a really phenomenal thing to do. Also, our daytime and weekday offerings are growing. We recognize that some of us prefer not to drive at night, and also that some of us are busy at night and daytime's our only chance to do things. So Shanti's doing that, and our meditation team is now doing a weekly meditation streaming live on Facebook. It is on Wednesdays at noon. If you can't make Wednesday at noon, it is recorded and you can listen to it anytime you want to. So I encourage y'all to check that out. So if today is your very first time with us, now that you know a little bit about who we are, and if you're brave and willing to share, will you raise your hand and give us the privilege of welcoming you here today? Anybody? Here? Back here? Very back. Welcome. We're so very glad you're here. If you haven't already done so, please pick up some information at the hospitality table out in the hallway. It tells you a little more about us. It also includes a free copy of the Science of Mind magazine. And we affirm for you and everyone in the room that you will experience a blessing here this morning. And given our great band and our wonderful Reverend Cindy, I know you can't help but do that. So anyway. All right, next week, because we just never stop here, we invite everyone to join in the fun and wear a Halloween costume to the Sunday service. I bet some of you grew up in a church that would never think of that. But we invite you all to do that. Please join in the fun. Those of you who are cooks, please bring your crock pot or another electric appliance filled with your favorite chili, because we're having a chili cook-off. So there will be prizes, I guess, for the best chili. Everybody gets to vote, I think, who tastes it and it does all that. Yeah. Okay. And there will be vegetarian chili for the vegetarians in the room. Also, prizes will be awarded in undetermined categories for best costumes. So I want you all to be very intuitive and try to figure out whether it's the ugliest or the prettiest or the whatever. The what? Scariest. Anyway, just so it's not the most politically incorrect, okay? All right. Because we really believe here that Halloween is not just for chronological children, but for the child within all of us. So please join us that. So if you want more information about any of the things I've talked about, or if you want to register for anything that's coming up, or if you want to buy tickets for something that's coming up, or set up automatic giving, you can always do that 24/7 on our website, which is www.spirituallyfree.org. All right, you can also there find out events, details, learn more about our philosophy, the history of our center, who our leaders are, how you can serve, and so much more. So you can also there and on the hospitality table sign up for our weekly newsletter, which comes out every Thursday at 4 o'clock, thanks to Myrna Hurst. And that will help you easily stay in touch with what's happening. So this is that time where I remind you that our center was founded on and it is grounded in prayer. Prayer is what we do to help us recognize that whatever comes our way, there is a spiritual purpose for it, even when it doesn't seem like that. And if you're having a really hard time with something in your life, recognizing that this is for my spiritual good, I invite you to see one of the practitioners. They'll be in the practitioner room right across the hall after the service. Allow them to do a prayer with you and for you so that they can know the best and highest for you until you can know that for yourself, because that's what our amazing practitioners do. So you also, if you're not up to doing that yet, you can put a prayer request in the prayer box on the table or submit one online, and the practitioners will be in prayer for you this week. So now, as we prepare for a time of prayer, I invite you to settle in, allow the beautiful music and Selena's reading to connect you with the God within. Then Selena will lead us in prayer.
Our reading this morning is adapted from Basic Ideas of Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. There are steps you must take to make your financial well-being solid. Steps that bring it out of the invisible realm of cause into the visible, tangible realm of your experience. First, you must consistently believe in it. When you fully expect financial wholeness, you are well on the way to meeting it halfway. True expectancy is the highest test of faith. Next, you need to know that you have the right and the ability to declare financial success for yourself and to accept the creative action of mind in this way. You must also know that you have practical skills and abilities that can be translated into the good that others want and will gladly pay for. Those who are wise do not declare their upcoming good and then sit idle waiting for it to arrive. Instead, they use every bit of their knowledge, initiative, and skill, the action of the divine within, to make themselves useful and valuable. That financial rewards automatically flow to them.
I am the place where God shows up, just as I am is good enough. I shine my light, I shine my light. I am the place where God shows up, where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up, where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up, just as I am is good enough. I shine my light, I shine my light. I am the place where God shows up, where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up, where God shows up, where God shows up.
I'm filled to overflowing with gratitude this day. As I greeted the morning in this beautiful valley we live in, all the radiant colors, the majestic mountains, the abundance of leaves and sun, the geese leaving, and every face, every person that I've greeted this morning just filled my heart, knowing that each of us is a divine expression of that one that moves in and through all of life, always creative, always abundant, always loving, everywhere present this day and always, has been, always will be. There is no end. Recognizing these truths of the divine, I know that I am part and parcel of that one, just as I know this truth for each person in this room. And so we open our minds and our hearts to that gift that is already ours, that divine birthright of divine right action, absolute abundance, love, joy, beauty. And all of this makes me thankful for the service to follow. We bless each person that's providing the music, Reverend Cindy with her talk this day, each of you that have shown up to share this time together this day in community. We are indeed blessed in this moment and always. So I just release this word, it's spoken, as together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Selena. One of the qualities of the divine abundance, I think it starts with realizing our own grand existence. We notice we're alive, we see with our eyes, we feel with our heart, and from there, everything is good. This song speaks to that. Let's sing together. It's called Affirmation.
And I'd just like to make mention, this song was inspired as I was taking a class from Reverend Allie, who's here. So I thank her for the inspiration in that class.
Feel with this heart a grand existence. I am me as nothing and all, the great and the small as one uniquely. And when I fly, I fly. see who I am, and that is enough to fill the universe. I am free. I willingly trust my inner divine guidance, my heart. And when I
Leslie Monroe. Awesome song. So I'm so excited to share this song with you. I loved it. It seems like all my life I've heard this song. It's an old song by a country singer, Don Williams. I like to think of this as, we can all have a laundry list of things that we don't believe, that we disagree with. But when we focus on the things that are going right, the things that are constant, the things that are good, those things that stream constant in our lives, it lifts us. And when we are lifted, we attract more of that good to us. This is called I Believe in You. I don't believe in superstars, in processed food or plastic cars. I don't believe the price of gold, the certainty of growing old, that right is right and left is wrong, north and south can't get along, that east and west is west, and being first is always best. But I believe in love. I believe in babies. I believe in magic. I believe in you. Well, I don't believe that heaven waits for only those that congregate. I like to think of God as love, here below and up above. There's good in people everywhere, though sometimes they don't seem to care. I'm just an ordinary man. Sometimes I wonder who I am, but I believe in love. I believe in music. Yeah. And I believe in harmony. And I believe in you. I know with almost certainty what's going on with you and me is a good thing. Oh yeah, it's true. I believe in you. I don't believe virginity is as common as it used to be. In working days and sleeping nights, that black is black and white is white. That Superman and Robin Hood, they only live in Hollywood. That kindness is in short supply. The rising cost just getting by. But I believe in love. I believe in old folks. I believe in children. And I believe in you. I believe in love. I believe in babies. I believe in music. Yes, I do. And I believe in you.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, band.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Drew, Leslie, Ricardo, Rory. Aren't they awesome? Yes. Good morning. So, we've had quite a month of abundant supply, and it continues. One thing that I wanted to say about today is I'm so excited because we have people in this room that maybe have been coming here for years that have decided to step into becoming a member, and people that have just started coming to our center that want to be a member here. So thank you for being here today. And I want to just kind of sum up where we've been this month. We started with WTF. Where's the faith? And we talked about all we need is faith the size of a mustard seed to move on in our life, to find that place of abundant supply. I'm going to skip through a few and go to Christiane because she was here last week and I wasn't in the room, but I watched. And Christiane talked about how charismatic we are and how we all have encoded in us these gifts and talents. And those gifts and talents bring us to a place of being abundantly supplied. Thank you, Christiane. I watched your talk and I loved it, every moment of it, and I got amazing feedback. So, here we are. Circumstances. We all have them. And the circumstances in our lives can seem unsurmountable. And I know that I've been there myself, where I had no understanding and I couldn't see a way out. But you see, I was always in the flow. I was always taking steps, moving forward. Because that's the important thing. There's amazing people in this world that were born into circumstances that seemed unsurmountable, that are now some of our wealthiest people on this planet. I'll talk about just a few of them. One we all know and love, and that's Oprah. We know that she was born to a teenage single mother in Mississippi. And she talked about not having running water or electricity. her net worth right now is about $3 billion. Now there's Ralph Lauren. He was born into a very poor family, and what happened for him was he always loved fashion, loved it, but he didn't have money to go buy anything for himself. He always got the hand-me-downs from his big brothers. And all he wanted was to have his own style and his own fashion. He said, when I get my brother's hand-me-downs, there was an energy in me that made me say, I want to get my own things to make my own statement. Now, his market value is nearly $8 billion. And considered one of the wealthiest fashion icons. Just take this in. Remember, these are people that came into this world with circumstances. Howard Schultz. You might not know this name. He's the chairman and CEO of Starbucks. When he was 7 years old, he experienced something that affected him every single day, and that was the scar and the shame of being a poor kid living in government-subsidized housing. He said that his father was a broken man, that he worked many dead-end jobs, one after another. But this hardship seemed to motivate Schultz to become the success that he is today. He never dreamed he'd be in a position that he is in now. And what he thought was, I want a company that is the kind of place that my father had the opportunity to work for. So when he went into business, he made that a priority, his intention. Then there's J.K. Rowling's. Any Harry Potter fans out here? Yes. My first New Thought minister, Reverend David Bruner, was so into Harry Potter that he had tattoo sleeves of the whole story on both arms. And we as a community, we would go on opening night to see the movies together. But anyway, so J.K. Rowling's, she remembers not eating enough and not having money to feed her daughter. And she remembers literally having zero money. So we know those are days in the past. And what she is all about is that she is a philanthropist now. And she enjoys giving back, so much so that she at one point was down by $160 million because she gave so much away. However, her fortune is back up because she's given so much away. She's back to $1 billion. She's a billionaire. So, I want to dig into that reading that Selena so eloquently read for us this morning. So, Ernest Holmes starts off saying, there are steps you must take for your financial well-being, solid steps that bring you out of invisible realm of cause into the visible, tangible realm of your experience. First, you must consistently believe in it. Yes. When you actually expect financial wholeness, you are well on the way of meeting it halfway. True expectancy is the highest test of faith. So here we go, back to that word faith, my friends. That parable of the mustard seed reminds us that all we need is the slightest amount of faith. And that even if those circumstances that seem stacked against you, those can be the things that motivate us to change. Holmes goes on and says, next you need to know that you have the right and the ability to declare financial success for yourself, to accept the creative action of mind in this particular way. You must know that you have practical skills. Tune into this, you guys. Practical skills and abilities that can be translated into the good that others want and will gladly pay for. So I'll go back to what Christiane talked about last week. And I loved it that you said that we all have charisma. We all show up with something in particular, coded in a particular way that only comes through us and our life and all that we do and all that we are. So these skills and talents and gifts, this is the way we live in abundant supply. Now, this is what I've found in the New Thought movement. Is there's a lot of people in this room, there's a lot of people online that are called to come from the heart and to serve. And what I found is there's a lot of these people that don't really understand that that calling means that you get to live in abundant supply. We don't need to be paupers and be kind. We can bring our talents and gifts and get paid handsomely for what we do because it is who we are. The person that is here to be a doctor or lawyer because that is what they're called to be and they get paid handsomely should be the same for who wants to be here and be a spiritual practitioner, a minister, a musician. See, these talents and gifts that we come into this world with, into this life with, this is our ticket to abundant supply. So I know in my own experience when I became a practitioner 20 years ago, I did not want to ask people for money to do a practitioner session. I thought, wait, I'm here for God. That's number one. And then through years of maturing and realizing, no, this is really who I am. This is what I do. This is how I show up in the world. I don't have to have a job that is providing me money. This is what I'm called to do and be. And because of my willingness to do this work, I get to make a living. The same is true for everybody in this room. So Holmes continues and says, those who are wise to not declare their oncoming good and then sit idly by waiting for it to arrive. Instead, they are every bit of their knowledge, initiative, and skill, the action of God within, to make themselves so useful and valuable that financial rewards flow to them automatically. That's powerful, isn't it? You step into what you're here to do and be, and it flows to you automatically. So we must always be looking for opportunities only after circulating our gifts, believing, declaring, and having faith. See, what I know, what they train you to know when you become a practitioner is the saying, treat and move your feet. Now, I guess if you want to go up on the hill and sit under the tree and, that's your calling, okay. But what I know is the important thing is I've heard my calling, and that even all those years in corporate America, I was always moving towards my right now. Always. So if you're in a quote-unquote job, it's okay. You can still be making a step and another step toward what is yours to do. So when you're in circulation, when you're circulating your talents and your gifts, that is the way of abundant living. So, when it's not there yet, what do? You express those gifts and talents, even if you don't get paid for them. And I did that for many, many years in communities just like this. It was the investment into my bank of being here and doing what I love to do and getting paid for it. Yes, I'll be transparent and say there were times I was cranky, that I was doing so much, and not necessarily having the monetary rewards, but they were building up in my bank account. I didn't realize it at the time. So when you give, if you're not there yet, but you're giving from that place of pureness, of wholeness, in only the way you can deliver it, that's how I know that you are living in abundant supply, because you're giving. So I'm going to change subjects for a moment here. Because since this is our Abundant Supply Month, what we're doing is we're starting a Prosperity Pledge program. Robert and I went to the post office and mailed them to you. If you don't get them, we have plenty of copies here at the center. So one of the things that I know is that the bigger and bolder I am in my giving, the more comes in. So this is a way to do it, but in a very conscious way, because our board of trustees need your help. We need to know how much to expect next year so that we can give the band a raise, so that we can have amazing singers and speakers, so that we can have amazing events, so that we can go out into the community and do outreach projects. The only way that we know this is by knowing what might be coming in. So that's why we're doing this prosperity program. Now, I'm not going to shame anybody if it doesn't work for you to fill in this piece of paper. I'm not going to tell you to go away. I'm going to just encourage you to do the best you can. And if you could only commit to a certain amount, that is fine. When you see that amount going out and then coming back, returned abundantly, you can tweak it and change it to give more. Same thing, if you end up in a circumstance, temporary circumstance, and you need to turn it down, you can do that as well. So I found, so that little book that quote came out of Ernest, it's The Basic Ideas of Science of Mind. I don't even know where I got this, but it ended up on my bookshelf. One of those things. So when we ask for finances here, the reason I ask in the way I do is because I believe that I want to give to the places that feed my soul. If you get something from a speaker here that reminds you of who you are, if you get uplifted by our music, if you get uplifted by our community, our spiritual family, then this is the place to give. So in this little book, there was this little paragraph saying, how do you know if you're giving money to the right place or spending money in the right area? And Ernest says, use this test. Will it be of value to me? And because of it, will I be of greater help, inspiration, encouragement, or practical help to others? Ooh, isn't that a great way to define whether you should spend the money or not? Is this going to be of help to me and to my greater community? Okay, so yes, maybe Hawaii is going to help you, and it's also going to help the community because you're going to be very happy when you come back from your trip, right? So anyway, there's always ways that you can make this formula work for your life. It is right, if through me as a greater good can come to others, this will be money wisely spent. See, we're all stewards. Money really is just another exchange of energy. We are energy beings, and everything that we do in this world is energies, energy in form. So the energy in form known as money is what I know is if I hold on to it with my closed fist, then nothing new can come in because my fist is closed and clenched. So I don't want to go on and on about that, but you'll get your mailing. If you don't, you can see the hospitality team because they have the papers there. And if you have questions, you can talk to myself or anyone on our board of trustees, because we want to have an amazing 2024 and 2025. This is how we're going to grow and thrive. So we still get one more week of abundant supply, you guys. So I'm very excited because we get to do it in costume. Oh, by the way, next week when you come to service, we're going to honor our new members that sign up today. We're also going to give out certificates for all of the people in this room that have taken classes this year. So make sure that you come. If you're online listening to this, make sure you make the effort to come here in person. It's going to be an amazing day, and what's better than everybody being in costume? That's the first time I ever went to a Science of Mind community. Reverend David was dressed as a pumpkin. And I'm sitting in the chair and I'm thinking, oh, I'm in the right place. With those giggles, please join me in prayer. As we breathe in together deeply and exhale, this prayer is one of abundance of finances, love, relationships, health, peace, and how grateful I am for Ernest Holmes and all of his wisdom keepers that brought him to this book that he wrote called Science of Mind. How grateful I am for the ancestors that share so freely from their heart their wisdom. How grateful I am for this beautiful, beautiful fall day to which my eyes feasted upon the leaves falling from the trees like colorful snowflakes falling on the grass, the ground, the streets. How grateful I am for this center that has been here for more than 50 years now, and for every beloved that started it, that said this is what this area is calling for. New thought, ancient wisdom here in this beautiful place called Salt Lake. And how grateful I am for this technology called affirmative prayer. Knowing that there is only one power, one presence, one love. It has many names. It doesn't matter what you call it, whether it's God, Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, Hashem, divine mind, love, light, energy, heart, Yeshua, the way. So many names and so many faces, and yet only one, and it's everywhere in everything, in those leaves falling off the trees, in those beautiful, majestic mountains that we get to view from any direction that we are here in this valley from. It's in every musical note that we hear, and everything that we say, and everything that we see. It's simply everywhere, all the time, every moment. And knowing that truth, I claim and know that for myself, that I am one with the one. I am the I am. I am the expression, the experience, the eyes, the steps, the hands, the feet, the mouthpiece of that one. And I know the same is true for every beautiful beloved within earshot of this prayer. That each and every soul is here on purpose with a mighty purpose. They came and you came and I came with a particular gift, charisma in mind, already coded in our lives. And as we are here to be these unique emanations of the one, I claim and know that in this moment, if you are experiencing anything less than 100% well-being in your body temple, maybe not feeling as good as you would like to, maybe dealing with a diagnosis or a prognosis that is on that human level, just here for the moment, but still hurts. I know that the truth is your soul is 100% whole all the time, and that you were born into this beautiful body temple that you live in with everything you need to live on this earth and carry out those gifts and talents in only the way that you can. And I know for my beloveds in this room that are experiencing grief and loss for changes in their life, whether they've lost someone or their beautiful beloved is changed from what they used to be, whether it's physically, mentally, socially, that I know for you that this change only motivates you to know yourself on an even deeper level, to love, to have compassion, to provide that place and space for your beloved to have love, unconditional love through their journey. And I claim and know for my beloveds in this room that are caretakers that first and foremost the care is within their soul, their mind, their body temple, so that they can be there for their beloved ones. I also claim and know for abundance that this community and everyone in it is going through an abundant supply moment where all needs are met and then some. And we get to give from that overflow. We get to give from that overflow of love, of finances, of hugs, of smiles. And because we are here giving, it comes back in such a glorious way that the community at large, the people outside of these walls, wonder what is going on in that place. Why are they so happy and smiling? It's because this is who we are and this is who we're meant to be. And I claim and know for this beautiful planet that we live in, for the Middle East, for the Israeli people, for the Palestinian people, for all the people that are innocents, that are going through unspeakable circumstances, that we can hold the high watch and send the peace that we have in our hearts over there, the Ukraine, and to all these other countries that are experiencing less than unconditional love for each and every person that sets foot in their land, on their holy land, that we can know and we can hold the space of this peace and blanket this planet, blanket it with this warm shroud of love. For this is how I know that we are making a mighty difference just by being in this room, in this community, taking the time for this prayer. So for all of these blessings that we affirm in this beautiful prayer vortex, is what I call it, I am grateful for answered prayer. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for this community. I'm grateful for all these hearts of love that are in prayer together, making it so much more palpable, powerful. So I just release. I surrender into the law, these spiritual laws that we study and know and love. They only work 100% of the time, 24/7, 365. It always works. The universe is for us. And if any of this prayer time resonated for you, with you, in you, please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Ashe.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
So this is our time when the ushers will come forward and move their way back through the room. Again, those letters you'll be receiving in the mail next week. If you don't get one, just make sure you grab one from us. And all that I want you to know is that we are here today because of all of you, because of all of your gifts, all of your love. This community keeps going on and on and on for over 50 years because you keep coming back. So I am grateful. I am grateful that you're here in this room. I am grateful. If you're new, I'm grateful that if you've been here for those 50 years, thank you for being here. Thank you, band. And we're going to bless the offerings. Thank you, Gail. So I like to say we want to extend our heart through our hands toward the baskets. And repeat after me. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
We are so blessed.
We are so blessed.
We are grateful
We are grateful
for every dollar,
for every dollar,
knowing
knowing
whatever I give
whatever I give
returns to me
returns to me
multiplied abundantly.
multiplied abundantly.
We are so blessed.
We are so blessed.
And so it is. Thank you.
All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The burden of my past is gone away at last. I've been set free, I'm released. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. Awesome.
And now we get to feature Rick one more time.
That's a song the whole band's gonna do, and this is I just realized this song is a lot like the song we just sang, except a little bit more specific. You know, we sing affirmations a lot in this community. There's power in that. But as Cindy said, it's also important not to just speak it and sit in your place under the tree, but you have to get up sometime, even if it's just to go to the bathroom or something. This song is called Money Is Coming to Me. Yes, there aren't that many songs about money unless you're going to sing the blues. This is not a blues song. This is a happy song. It's a little in your face, but in a very good way. Money is coming to me. Get out the funk. Yeah. Money is coming to me. 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 I can just feel it, and I believe it's coming to me now, and I'm not worried about how. Money is coming to me. Come on, come on, come on. The universe is working for me. I can just feel it, and I believe it's working for me now, and I'm not worried about how. Whoa, money is coming to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. More than enough to live, more than enough to give, more than enough to share. Feel like it's already here. More than enough to shop, more than enough to drive. More than enough to save, and plenty left over to give away. Money is coming to me. Fun song by a guy named Dorian Howell. Thanks for dancing. That's always so cool. Reverend Cindy, thank you for your message. Thinking about circumstances and the way I used to react was fear, anxious. And then to get out of it, I thought I had to make sense of things and figure it out here. And what you talked about and what I've come to believe is a lot of that has to come from here. Figuring it out here in my guts. And when you figure it out here, it's so much easier to give. When you start addressing your circumstances from here and giving yourself to whatever good is in front of you right then, that's what shifts things. I'm a bus driver, you know, and I'm proud of that. There's 483 bus drivers in the UTA corporate company from Provo to Salt Lake to Ogden. I think I'm one of the best bus drivers. I am. And the reason is because I love it. I don't have to, I'm very well taken care of because people recognize that I love my work. And same with here, I cannot stop coming on Sundays and giving myself here. So it no longer matters what my circumstances is, as long as I can continue to give from here. And he just nailed it. Thank you. If you need a pick-me-up prayer, the practitioners are available across the hall after service. Don't forget the membership orientation. I'm going to be there. Anybody else in leadership, if we can be there to just show support for that and to welcome people's interest in joining this community. It's a very good thing. And yes, next year is going to be amazing. I already filled out my form, and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I filled it out, and I felt from here that I need to give more. So I upped my pledge 25%, and I feel great about that. So if any of you feel called to do that, this is a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place to be, and I want it to be here long after I'm gone. All right. Let's stand and sing our closing song. I am as God created me.